Hello and welcome to the July 17th edition of the Thursday Night Thunder podcast with AJ and MMK. This is episode 23 of the series. I'm your host, Adam Jason Sinclair, and tonight Michael and I will once again bring you the best discussion about the world of modern motorsports. Tonight, on the most hardcore program on the internet, we're going to start by visiting the world of go-karts. On today's program, we're hopefully going to be joined by Tom Abbott from K1 Speed. K1 Speed is a go-karting company founded in California in 2003, and all of their go-karts are 100% electric. As well as being more sustainable, electric go-karts ensure that you don't inhale fumes from engines. K1 Speed has over 100 local indoor locations throughout 10 countries, and K1 Circuit has 2 outdoor locations in the United States. Every year, K1 Speed hosts the E-World Championship, which most recently featured an $80,000 prize pool across 3 divisions. Like I stated, we're standing by for Tom from K1 Speed to come in and talk to us this evening. And I do apologize for a few little electrical gremlins tonight. That sort of thing happens, especially when we have a full show scheduled, apparently. But it's one of those
Hi,
things.
AJ. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can, AJ. How are you today?
Awesome. I'm doing pretty well. First off, we're pleased to welcome you to the program, but let me get started with the popularity of F1. How do these cars compare to the big guys?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So typically, karting is going to be where a lot of F1 drivers start their racing careers as young kids. In Europe, they have the FIA run karting, and it's huge over there and very easy. Kind of, it's almost seen as like a feeder into Formula Series. Karting is able to teach racing technique that then transfers to road course racing like F1, and a US comparison would probably be IMSA. And then we'd like to kind of propel ourselves into the kind of entry level role for many drivers in the US. And we even offer K1-on-1 coaching, which helps teach good racing habits. And it's typically done by the best employee racer at each center.
For the people who've never been to a K1 facility, can you tell them a little bit more about what you might expect after entering the door?
Yeah, of course. So as soon as you enter a K1 facility, no matter where it is, you're going to be greeted by the smell of tires and rubber, which is, if you don't know that smell, you will not forget it. I love it. We also have NASCAR and Formula One race cars in every center, as well as different various racing memorabilia like hoods of famous cars and racing suits of well-known drivers. Even so much so at K1 Circuit out in Winchester, we have former racing suits from Max Verstappen, Lando Norris. I think we have a Jenson Button one too as well. For K1 Speeds, we have arcades for fun off the track as well, and a paddock lounge for food and bev options. We also do beer and wine at a good amount of locations, which of course would only be available after the racing is done.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the World Championship that I mentioned a little moment ago?
Yeah, of course. So the eWorld Championship is basically our end goal for our Challenge Grand Prix League racers. And those Challenge Grand Prix Leagues are at every indoor center. And so what happens with those is that at the end of the season, the top 3 in each division from each center go to their state championship. And then the top 3 in the state championships advance to the U.S. Nationals, which is held on the same day as the eWorld Championship. So then we take the top 3 U.S. drivers in each division and put them against the world champion or world drivers. In the last edition of the eWorld Championship, we had competitors from K1 Speeds in Canada, Mexico, and France. And hopefully next year we will integrate our Italian stores as well as the Canary Wharf one, which is our store in London. And also, as you mentioned in the intro, last year the prize pool was 80 grand, and the first place adult actually took home $25,000 and is using it to kind of propel himself in Specky 30 racing through SCCA racing.
Awesome. I know you mentioned that you have some memorabilia and that sort of thing in some of the facilities. Do you have a chance to work with any past or present pro racers with the
Yeah,
facility?
definitely. So we also, as K1, we have K1 race gear, which is going to be our karting kind of apparel, karting suits and stuff like that, gloves, whatever it may be. And we sponsor drivers like Kyle Larson in NASCAR, and literally hundreds of drivers that do dirt track racing and sprint car racing. That's kind of our bread and butter, is that grassroots aspect of the motorsport world. And K1 Race Gear also sponsors LeVar Scott, who is set to make his Xfinity debut at Dover in a couple days. So I'll definitely be rooting for him on Saturday.
Awesome. I know you mentioned you have more than 100 locations. Where would your dream location be?
You know, I would probably say Japan, just because it's a market that would be new to the K1 brand. And the racing culture is just absolutely phenomenal in Japan. So it would be great to capitalize on all that racing buzz and kind of bring the K1 name to Japan. I also wouldn't mind going on a trip to Japan for business. So, yeah.
There you go. Well, now I'd like to throw out to my co-host, Michael Malali Capallo, who's in Ephrata, Washington. She's actually been to one of your facilities before, so she has a little bit more knowledge than I do, and she'll go ahead and have a question for you as well.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. Well, first of all, before I get into my questions, I would like to say that the go-karts were really cool. I did not hear a single bad thing. Everybody left with giant smiles on their face. It was really neat.
That's awesome. Could I ask which location you went to?
Yeah, we went to the Tampa location, the one in Tampa.
Awesome. Yeah. I haven't had a chance to go out there. Our corporate office is in Southern California, but all I hear are good things. We have a pretty good presence in Florida, so that's definitely, I definitely like to hear that, you know.
Yeah, well, it was a good experience. I was shocked when I put it together that you were the guest and your go-karts are cool. So, but anyways, I just thought you should know that. But
no, I appreciate it.
So, what kind of thought and planning go into opening a facility?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So typically, very, very basic kind of research on expanding into a new market would be primarily targeting a family demographic, just because we are a family entertainment center. Priority wise being, racing obviously, but we do have, an arcade and some other stuff for people to do depending on the center. We would check competitors in the area and the estimated revenue in that area for family entertainment centers, even including as far as to say like Top Golf or Dave and Buster's or anything else that's really kind of like a family oriented business. We would try and get like a general estimate of their revenue. Each center has a unique track design, which is pretty cool. None of them are the same. So it would also entail obviously designing a new track, which is a pretty fun part of the job for the operations team, I would say. And then after we get done with all the fun stuff, it would come down to obviously, training new staff, getting all the right permits and all the other operation kind of grunt work, I could say.
And why do electric go-karts seem kind of faster than like the gas-powered go-karts?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So besides being, not toxic fumes coming out, it's going to be due to the immediate acceleration of electric carts. Gas carts often feature shifting gears, which kind of take a little longer to ramp up, but with electric, it's immediate response. So the time for acceleration is a lot less. And because they're automatic as well, you don't really have to learn too much, which helps since we are a rental cart place. The learning curve is a lot easier. And yeah.
That makes sense. So you kind of touched on this a little bit, but do you guys ever like change up your track
Yeah.
layouts or anything kind of cool like
Yeah,
that?
sure. We most recently, I think within the last few days, actually, our San Antonio layout changed, as well as our Houston layout, both in Texas. And pretty much what that comes down to, whether it be, like it's just kind of getting old, or like the I guess regulars, have raced it enough to where they cannot get a faster lap time at that point. We'll then go create, various layouts with honestly relative ease. In centers with two tracks, we're also able to combine those tracks. We like to call them super tracks, just because they do have that longer length. They go from being about a quarter mile long, typically, to once it's a super track being about a half mile. And so your lap times are going to be a lot longer. And overall, I would say it's more enjoyable with those super tracks, just because it's something that isn't offered all the time. So it's kind of like a limited time offer type of thing.
And what makes K1 carts safe? Like what makes them safe?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that question. It's definitely always in the forefront of our minds. I do PR, so it's definitely, in the forefront of my mind a lot. Just making sure everyone has a safe time as well as an enjoyable time. They're safe due to various safety measures, including Department of Transportation approved rental helmets, extended roll bars above the headrest just in case. Typically, that would, it's just a safety measure. Those really don't come into play much. We do require closed-toed shoes, and of course, we have seatbelts that are pretty much harnesses. Right before a race, you'll be checked, so to make sure that your seatbelt is on and fastened tight enough from an employee. We also have required safety briefing, and we use various flags to signal situations during races, much like you would see in a professional race series. So we try and bring that into a rental setting as well. And rentals, you're not typically going to get serious racers. So the problem that we see a lot is people treating it like bumper cars, but we definitely can't emphasize enough that indoor kart racing is a non-contact sport. It is racing. It is technically open wheel. So we just always harp on no contact, no bumping, everything like that.
And my final question for you this evening, out of all of your guys' locations, which one seems to be the most intriguing, at least to you?
Yeah, no, so that's a great question. I would say just because it's so different, I would say K1 Circuit Winchester, which is in Riverside County, California. It's our flagship outdoor track. It's a over $20 million facility. It features bank turns, about 40 feet of elevation change, and it also features our electric OTL Pro carts, which are capable of going upwards of 80 miles an hour. So our indoor tracks are about 45 max out speed, and so out there you're almost going 2 times as fast. It's a 1.1 mile length track as well. It's built to FIA certifications. We're currently trying to get that track certified. That way we can kind of have that upper echelon credibility. We also host race series there. So SCUSA, which is Superkarts USA, kind of like the main professional karting. They hold competition series at K1 Circuit. And it's just overall, like you go there and it is a K1 location, but it seems like it's obviously different, than the indoor locations, and it's just that much more enticing.
And if my listeners were interested in more information about the facility, where would they go?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So I would suggest going for K1 Speed. So the indoor locations would be k1speed.com. And K1 Circuit, we have one in Winchester and one in Whiteland, Indiana. I would go to k1circuit.com. They all have their own location pages. I actually help write those too. So, if you want to see some of my writing, you can go check out the blog as well. We have some recaps from the eWorld Championship. I actually got the chance to sit down with all 9 podium members from the juniors, the teens, and the adults, and did kind of a sit-down style interview with all of them, wrote a feature about them, and overall, they're just really good people. They're examples of exemplary K1 racers. And so if you want kind of like a prototype to build your karting after, I would highly suggest checking that out.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the show tonight, and I look forward to checking out the facility in the Palm Beach County area sometime in the future. I'll let you know.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me in the Thunderdome. I appreciate it, guys.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on, and have a great night.
All right, you as well. Have a good rest of the show. Bye.
Once again, that's Todd from the K1 Speed. It's great to have him on the show tonight, and we're happy that he has such an awesome job and a great facility. Seems like it'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to checking it out sometime in the near future. Not sure exactly when, but we'll see how that goes. Are you a race car driver, crew chief, pit member, track owner? Maybe you're just a huge fan of the sport. Contact us to get your spot on the show. After all, you deserve your 15 minutes of fame, and we'd love to hear from you. Castrol, a global leader in lubricant technology and the official motor oil partner of the NBA and WNBA, recently unveiled a one-of-a-kind paint scheme for RFK racing in a crossover partnership that brings together several high-profile platinum platforms ahead of the 2025 AT&T WNBA All-Star Game. Inspired by 6-time WNBA All-Star Alyssa "The Engine" Thomas, the livery design celebrates the relentless drive for excellence and a collective commitment to performance.
The custom paint scheme, designed in collaboration with Thomas, blends powerful symbolism with bold design. A basketball pattern base sets the tone, with Thomas featured prominently on the hood. On the side panels, an infinity symbol donning a crown sits alongside 2 chess pieces representing stability, strength, and strategy, core elements of Thomas's game. Purple chrome number 60 emblems appear on the sides and roof, with a subtle XV Roman numeral nods to her legacy as the triple-double queen. Thomas' signature and nickname, "The Engine," are proudly displayed on the hood and trunk lid, an official stamp of her imprint on every detail. For RFK Racing, the livery represents another moment to showcase the team's connection with Castrol while finding new and different ways to elevate its status on and off the track.
The latest activation from Castrol furthers its pledge to celebrating players and fans in its role as the official motor oil partner of the WNBA. Viewers can watch the number 60 Castrol "The Engine" car on track in back-to-back weekends at the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400 at Dover Motor Speedway on Saturday, July 20th, and the Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis Motor Speedway on Sunday, July 27th. To learn about Castrol's latest innovations, including its partnerships with RFK Racing and the WNBA, visit Castrol.com. Next week, we welcome a representative from Castrol to review this week's racing at Dover and preview the Brickyard 400. Should be fun.
The 37th edition of the Ontario Honda Dealers Indy Toronto, a 3-day motorsports festival featuring the NTT IndyCar Series and 4 other racing series, begins tomorrow with your Ontario Honda Dealers present Free Fan Friday in support of Make-A-Wish Canada. Gates will open at Exhibition Place at 9 a.m. Eastern. To kick off the exciting festival weekend set for July 18th through the 20th, spectators can make a voluntary donation to Make-A-Wish Canada and receive complimentary general admission tomorrow, July 18th. Since 2010, more than $1 million has been raised to grant the wishes of children with critical illnesses through these annual race weekend efforts, with the additional support of the Honda Canada Foundation.
There are multiple ways for fans and festival goers to make contributions this year. Attendees will be prompted to donate upon entering the festival grounds. but are also encouraged to visit Racing Towards Make-A-Wish's Make-A-Wish Canada Zone, located inside the Intercare Center. It will feature fun activities for kids, chances to win prizes, an opportunity to take a picture of the friendly Make-A-Wish Canada mascot, Rory, and more. Online donations are also accepted at makeawish.ca/Honda-Indy. Attendees at your Ontario Honda dealers present Free Fan Friday on July 18th will be treated to a jam-packed day of on-track schedule, featuring open-wheel racing from the NTT IndyCar Series and 2 series from the USF Pro Championships, presented by Continental Tire, plus exciting sports car action from M-Zone Radical Cup Canada, presented by Michelin and Miata Canada Cup. Additionally, an all-driver NTT IndyCar Series IRF session is planned for 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time in Heritage Court.
Fans will also have access to an array of off-track features to experience at Exhibition Place. Festival goers can explore premium food and drink offerings in the truck stop section or head to the Ontario Honda dealers pit stop area inside the Intercare Center on the west end to beat the heat. Merchandise stands to buy souvenirs to commemorate the trip. Interactive displays and beer gardens fill Thunder Alley. Ontario Honda dealers Indy Toronto 2-day general admission tickets are available for $85, offering the best weekend value. Single-day general admission is $50 for Saturday and $70 for Sunday.
All spectators are encouraged to use Toronto's Go Lakeshore West train to Exhibition Station for the easiest commute without the worry of traffic or parking at the Ontario Honda dealers Indy Toronto. Go Transit has a special offer of general admission plus round-trip fare at hondaindy.com/go. Children 12 and under are admitted free throughout the event when attending with a ticketed adult, and can also ride Go Transit for free. For complete ticket pricing and event information, visit hondaindy.com.
Things are heading in the right direction for two-time Funny Car World Champion Cruz Pedregon, and he would like to keep it that way at this weekend's 36th Annual Muckleshoot Casino Resort NHRA Northwest Nationals at Pacific Raceways. The longtime standout appears to be over a rough patch that plagued most of his 2024 season in the NHRA Mission Foods Drag Racing Series. Showing improvement and potential early this season, he added to it at the most recent event in Norwalk, picking up his first number 1 qualifier in 2 years and advancing to the semifinals, the third time he's done that this year. Pedregon also jumped 3 spots in the point standings, moving up to 8th in the loaded funny car category.
The key for Pedregon now is taking the next step, or 2, and pick up his first victory since the 2022 finale. He's trending in the right direction in his 12,000 horsepower Snap-on Dodge Hellcat, and continuing to progress to kick off the second half of the 2025 season is the main goal this weekend in Seattle, along with putting on a stellar 330-mile-per-hour show for the fans. Last year, Steve Torrance in Top Fuel, Austin Prock Funny Car, Jake Coughlin Jr. in Pro Stock, and Chase Van Sant in Pro Stock Motorcycle all picked up victories in Seattle, while Justin Ashley, Prock, Aaron Stanfield, and Gage Ferreira won the Mission Too Fast 2JC Challenge bonus race. It is the 11th of 20 races during the 2025 NH race season, and this weekend in Seattle is loaded with excitement.
Pedregon referenced Friday's thrilling night session, which includes the D-Cell Power Systems After Dark Low Qualifier and offers a special bonus for the quickest run in each class under the lights. Pedregon has proven he's once again capable of running with the Funny Car Elite, a standout group that includes points leader Prock, who has 4 wins in 2025, Jack Beckman, Matt Hagan, Ron Capps, J.R. Todd, and Daniel Wilkerson. But Pedregon has been quick and consistent at recent races, 2 absolute necessities in a class loaded with talent. He'll be part of a thrilling Saturday in Seattle, too, one that features 3 nitro qualifying sessions and the Mission #2Fast2Tasty Challenge. The bonus race offers a chance for more success for Pedregon, who has always enjoyed racing at Pacific Raceways.
Racing legend Tony Stewart leads a talented Top Fuel field, one that also includes Kalita Motorsports teammates Sean Langdon and Doug Kalita, Brittany Force, Justin Ashley, who's won back-to-back races, Clay Milliken, and reigning world champion Antron Brown. The Pro Stock ranks has been dominated this season by the KB Titan Racing powerhouse, led by reigning champion Greg Anderson. He has 4 wins, while his teammate Dallas Glenn has 3. Corey Reed earned his first career win in Norwalk, and others to watch this week include multi-time champs Eric Andrews and Jake Coughlin.
Pro Stock Motorcycle is again led by reigning champion Herrera, who has 3 wins in 2025. Six-time champ Matt Smith is second, while Herrera's teammate Richard Gadsden is third. Others to watch will be John Hall, who won for the first time in 12 years when he won in Norwalk, as well as Angie Smith, Gianna Evaristo, and Van Sant. The weekend kicks off with $15,000 Mission Food Machine tournament at Muckleshoot Casino Resort at 1 p.m. on Thursday, where fans can register for free. And the NHRA Fan Fest presented by Explore Auburn takes place from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific Time on Thursday in front of Dave & Buster's at the Outlet Collection, 1101 Outlet Collection Drive, Southwest Auburn, Washington, 98001 is the address, with autographs and a meet and greet with NHRA standouts taking place from 6 to 7 p.m.
Scheduled appears an impressive list of drivers in the HRA Mission Foods Drag Racing Series, including Top Fuel stars Ida Zederstrom and Jasmine Salinas. Funny car standouts Chad Green, Hunter Green, Alexis DeJoria, Buddy Hall, rookie Dylan Weinstein, Pro Stock's Corey Reed, Mason McGahey, and Chris McGahey, as well as Pro Stock motorcycle points leader Gage Herrera, Richard Gadsden, defending event winner Chase Van Sant, and Chris Bostic. On Saturday, following qualifying, race fans can visit Muckleshoot Casino Resort for the official NHRA after party with live music from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Pacific Time. Also on track will be the standouts in the NHRA Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series. All weekend, fans will be invited to the NHRA Nitro Alley stage, which is the main entertainment hub in the pits. The stage hosts Nitro School, meet and greets, autograph sessions, and more. Seattle race fans can enjoy the special pre-race ceremonies that introduce each driver and includes the favorite Sealmaster Track Walk. Fans are also invited to congratulate the winners at the Winner's Circle celebration on Sunday.
As always, fans get a pit pass to the most powerful and sensory-filled motorsports attraction on the planet. Fans can see their favorite teams in action and servicing their cars, get autographs, and more. They can also visit NHRA's manufacturers Midway, where sponsors and vendors create an exciting atmosphere. NHRA Mission Foods Drag Racing Series qualifying will feature 2 rounds of qualifying on Friday, July 18th for the Pro Stock and Pro Stock motorcycle classes at 6:40 and 8:15 p.m. Pacific Time, with Top Fuel and Funny Car taking to the track at 9:15 p.m. Pacific Time. On Saturday, July 19th, Nitro teams will qualify 3 times at 12:30 p.m., 2:45 p.m., and 5 p.m. Pro Stock and Pro Stock Motorcycle will qualify at 3:45 p.m. and 6:05. Race day will kick off with Nitro eliminations on Sunday, July 20th at 10:30 a.m.
Television coverage includes qualifying action at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday and 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday at Fox Sport 1, leading into eliminations on Fox at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. Tickets for the 36th annual Muckleshoot Casino Resort and HRA Northwest Nationals are on sale at nhra.com/tickets. All children 12 and under will be admitted free in general admission area with a paid adult. For more information about NHRA, visit nhra.com. For more information on Muckleshoot Casino Resort, visit muckleshootcasino.com. I know in the past you've had a chance to head out to the Pacific Raceways for the Northwest Nationals. Are you planning on going out there this weekend?
No, not this weekend. Well, while I was sitting here reading the script out loud, I kind of had a thought of like, well, maybe I could go maybe Saturday. But I don't know. It's really hot, and my husband does not do good with the heat. My father, he kind of does all right with the heat, I guess. But my baby doesn't really do good with the heat. But if you take like water bottles and just like dump them on your head, maybe. But it's interesting. I was re-looking through the script to make sure that I read everything correctly. Doesn't it seem like their qualifying times start kind of late?
I think they start later because of the fact that a lot of their stuff is based on East Coast time, so they qualify a little bit later out there to get better TV time over here, so it's not as much of a delay. I think that's part of the deal.
Oh, that makes sense. Because I was like, wow, I really don't remember them qualifying so late, but that would make sense. And it also is kind of cool. It seems like kind of changes it up. Oh, but I guess that would mean that they would do it under the lights, and I guess
Yeah, that's the idea too. Yeah, get better television that way.
it is kind of cool. It is kind of cool. Are you going to watch?
I probably will a little bit. I had a good time watching the IHRA Nitro event last weekend on YouTube. I found that on Sunday because they had a lot of really bad weather apparently for the IHRA Nitro event there in Ohio this past weekend. But it was good that I was able to find it on Sunday. It looked like it was a really good field. They had a lot of interesting racers. They brought back some more historic people. They had Del Worsham racing there, which was something. They had Tommy Johnson Jr. as one of the announcers, which was kind of cool. I always thought he was an interesting guy. So, and they had Don Garlitz and Shirley Muldowney as sort of the grand marshals of the event. So, like I said, I wish the IHRA lots of luck. I think they had a really good event this year in Ohio for their championship, and hopefully they have a lot better year next year. Hopefully they end up with a more interesting field. I know the NHRA has had some issues recently with field size, but they've had some basically some fillers and that sort of thing. But this year, they're getting it a little bit better. So let's just hope that picks up in the future.
What do you think someone like, I know we've talked about the IHRA a lot, and I would like to see them succeed, but what do you think they kind of maybe need to do to kind of get it back to where it was? What do you think would help?
I think it's basically just it's not really a TV thing because for them they've had a lot of stuff with where they were able to in the past. They did a lot of stuff more free, doing streaming and that sort of thing, which I think is kind of a good idea. They need to involve sponsors. They need to get people involved in it. They need to bring in more technology. I think, but in the past they've had some for the IHRA anyway. They've had the nostalgia of racing. I don't think that's the way to go necessarily, but I think it sort of has to have a good balance between the past and the future, and end up with something that's not only entertaining and fast, but it's sort of a little bit more cutting edge. They don't need to be doing the 340-mile-an-hour runs that the NHRA is trying for, but they need to be competitive, and I think that I hope they hit on something, and I think they have a good plan. So we'll see how it goes. They've had issues as well with tracks closing. Um, Not only some of a lot of the small tracks that used to be the heart and soul of the sport have fallen on the wayside, especially ones that were owned by the IHRA, because the IHRA ended up having the previous owners had to go through bankruptcy and that sort of thing. They lost all their big tracks, and that wasn't a good thing. But I think the current ownership team has a plan, and hopefully they do really well. I also wish lots of luck to the NHRA. I think there's room in this country for both series plus the other drag racing facilities. They talked a little bit about the Pro Drag Racing Association during the IHRA thing. So there's all sorts of opportunities for racing and for events in the country, and people just need to take advantage of it, and people need to show up. That's the thing too. When I watched the IHRA event there from Ohio, the grandstands were not anywhere near full, and that's not a good thing. Especially when the tickets were really affordable for Sunday. I think they were less than $5 or something just getting through the gate.
Wow.
So um, people need to show up for those sort of events. They need to, if they're interested in racing, you can find them. You just need to look. Especially this time of year, there's racing pretty much everywhere in the country this time of year. So just go out and support your local tracks because that's what they don't need. And also support places like K1 Speed, like we talked about with the guy a few minutes ago. That's a good way to get involved in racing. A lot of people have started out in go karts before they move up their professional ladder. So that's an awesome way to get started too, even if you're not really entirely into the professional thing. Just go out and try out these go karts. They're really cool. They're fast with the torque and that sort of thing from electric cars. It's something to behold. And like I said, I'm looking forward to checking that out too.
Yeah, I think maybe you could get your wife to race you.
Yeah, she's looking forward to it, but it'll be a little while. It's getting close, but it'll probably be closer to the end of the year. We'll check that out then. So, getting there. Do you have any other big exciting racing plans coming up? I know that there's it's really hot, like you said, and some facilities have slowed down because of that. But do you have any other big exciting things coming up anytime soon?
No, no, not really. We do have like some local, like my nephew. Well, my brother's the last one that raced my nephew's car, but we have some of that stuff coming up.
Mhm.
But no, things are kind of slow around here. Though it does seem like all of these cool events and stuff seem to kind of fall on the same weekend or like, relatively close because I know the hydroplanes or I wish I get the Gold Cup maybe I think. Maybe that's what it's called. I don't know. But that's somewhere over here and I thought that would be kind of cool to go watch. And then of course, you have the NHRA Nationals in Seattle right now. And yeah, there's just yeah, like you said, you gotta just look for it. It's out there. You just gotta look.
Yep. And hopefully, at least we're the goal of this program has always been to try and improve the and make it easier for people to find things. And if I find out about them, I'm going to share it with you guys, whether it's through this show or through the website, through the Facebook page, somewhere it'll be there. And if you're interested in coming on and sharing information about your series or your events, we'd love to hear from you. Easiest way is go to the Thursday Night Thunders@podbean.com. Thursday Night Thunder podcast.podbean.com. Easiest way to get in touch with us is go through there. And we'd love to have you in the show. We're having a lot of luck lately in getting some people to come on the program. We're going to be talking next few weeks. We're going to be talking to people from Castrol, as I stated earlier. We'll be talking to a guy, former NASCAR competitor next week, who's a man who's running for political office. So that'll be interesting to see his perspective a little bit. Talk a little bit about racing, a little bit about the future. We'll have that. So that'll be cool. And like I stated, we've got a bunch of different other people working on getting on the program. And hopefully they all come on and share their knowledge of and enjoyment of the sport with you guys. That's kind of the idea. So hopefully you're having a really good summer. Hopefully everybody is trying to keep cool out there. It's hot everywhere, and some the places where it's not hot, it's hot and raining. So it's just one of those sort of years. But there's always something going on, and if you're interested in it, find it. It's there. Be sure to check out past episodes of Thursday Night Thunder by visiting facebook.com/SD Thursday Night Thunder. Listen to previous episodes of this show at Thursday Night Thunder podcast.podbean.com. You can also find them on youtube.com/ForBorPlums. That's FABORPLUMBS. The show is also available on Podchaser, on iHeartRadio, on Boomplay, on Spotify, on Player FM. We're also available, as I stated, on the Podbean app, or I think you can find us on Amazon Music now, and I'm looking to try and get it on other places as well. So pretty much anywhere you find your podcast, you can find this program now. I'm very proud of that, and hopefully you are happy to be listening. We're happy to have you. I also invite you to check out my new racing page at motorsportsnewsandviews.wordpress.com. You can find out all information about any sort of motorsports that I happen to stumble across. I've got all different sorts of coverage on there, from IndyCar, from NASCAR, from I've got a little bit of go-kart racing news on there now. Anywhere you can find more motorsports information, the best place to find it, at least in my opinion, my humble opinion, is at motorsportsnewsandviews.wordpress.com. In addition, if you're a fan of South Florida, and who isn't, be sure to check out the latest news and information about our slice of paradise at my travel blog, For More Plums Fantastic Finds, which can be found on Facebook at For More Plums Fantastic Finds, on Twitter at PB Happening. Now it's called X, but still out PB Happening, and by heading to For More Plums Fantastic Finds. That's FABORPLUMBS fantasticfinds.wordpress.com.
Thank you for listening, and we look forward to seeing you again next week in the Thunderdome as we discuss the major issues in the world of modern auto racing.
Have a great night, and thanks again.